Okay, so here you see the assignment 2, and you have to create a new worksheet and resize the column widths so they are the same height as the rows. Turns out to be 17 pixels. And then use the line drawing tool to create an X and Y axis. And you do that under Shapes. So create a new worksheet and then resize the columns. You can do that by selecting it and then put the cursor here at the border, hold down the left mouse button and move it to where you want. You want it to be 17 pixels. Right, so that would be right here. And in fact, if you want to do it for many columns, so say we want to do it for all 26 columns, you would just need to resize the first one that you've selected. So now you have rows and columns with the same height, and that is like graph paper. Then to draw the axes, select the line as you just saw, and then push the left mouse button, hold it down, and put the endpoint where you want it, and release it. So notice the virtue of having this graph paper is that you can draw extremely straight lines. So that looks straight, doesn't it? If it's not, you can make a fine adjustment to it. But I think I had it straight initially. All right, and then we'll draw the the x-axis in the same way. And then we'll label this Q and this P. And then how do you get the numbers to match up? Well, one challenge is that if you write, for example, 0 here, it actually appears between 0 and 1, right? So one thing that you can do is to merge these cells. There it is. So we push merge cells. And so we turn those two cells into one. And then if we turn this to 1 and center it, it'll be on exactly the first line. So you can only do it every 2. If you push Control plus Y, it will repeat whatever action you just completed. And likewise, we can do this here. So here, type in 1 and move it to the center using this button. Here, 3, 5, 7, 9. And again, make them all appear in the center of the cell. So we have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and so on. All right, so back to the question. We have to plot this demand curve. P equals 10 minus Q. So let's plot this. Put it here just to remind us, put it here just to remind us of what it is. So how would we plot that? Well, let's say, first of all, Q, this is not going to let me write. All right. So we're going to plot the demand curve P equals 10 minus Q. If Q equals 0, then P equals what? 10, right? And if P equals 0, then Q equals, if P equals 0, then Q equals 10. So we have 2 points, right? 0, 10, and 10, 0. So we can plot these, and I could do it with my pen, but I'm going to show you how to do it in Excel. You go back to the shape, line drawing tool, 10. This is 0, 10, and then the next point is, you know what? I didn't center these, so it's kind of hard to see. But I'll do it again. So here is 0, 10, and then here is 10, 0. Right? And we label this D for demand. Next, we need to plot the following supply curve. P equals QS. So if P equals 0, in other words, P is 0 right here, right? What is Q? 0 also. So this is the first point. And then if P equals 10, where is Q? Also 10. So plot that line. And then you can see where they intersect right at 5, right? I did ask you to put a little star there, some symbol indicating the equilibrium. And so, and to label this S. So the question is, what are the equilibrium price and quantity? Over here you would say for your Excel assignment number 2, equilibrium price is $5 and is 5. Right? You see that here. You can also copy this and paste it in. But one thing you can do to make it look better is under Page Layout, deselect View Grid Lines. And then you can copy this and paste it in like so. One challenge is when you do this, you have these little Microsoft, it recognizes that it's from Excel. And if you want to make it simply a JPEG image, you can paste it into a program like Paint, and then copy and paste it in. And the virtue of doing this is that now you have an image, and you're not going to click on a bunch of parts of the figure that you made.
On the newer Excel, you can just go to special and paste.
Okay, so you can, in other words, you're saying you can copy this and then choose Paste Special, and there will be an option for Paste as JPEG. Yeah, I don't have that in this version, but you're right, that should work for other versions. There are other ways to get that to be a JPEG image, but this is one. And as we see, the quantity, equilibrium quantity is also 5. Question 2 asked us, now say the demand for olive oil shifts, and it's given by P equals 8 minus Q. So we can graph this. 8 would be here, right? And if you want to see, so this would be D prime. And then if you want to see where those lines are, go back to Page Layout and view the grid lines. And so we see that the new equilibrium point is here, right? At $4 and a quantity of 4. So the question was, question 3 is, what are the new equilibrium price and quantity? But what about question 2? What is something that could have caused this type of shift? Give an example of something that could have caused such a shift. So this is the demand for olive oil, we're told in the problem. And so this is a leftward shift. By the way, you can also draw in little arrows. So if you want to indicate that this was a leftward shift, you can do it like this. And so what's something that could cause the demand for olive oil to decrease? Say again? Be a little more specific. So price. But price of what? And how did the price of what? Of that what change? Sorry? Price of canola oil. So what would have to happen to the price of canola oil to make this happen? Right, decrease. So if the price of canola oil falls, then people switch from olive oil to canola oil, and this curve shifts left.